the bottom's the one who's cooking and cleaning, and the top is the one.
Well, guess what? I'm both.
Like super. You're both.
I can host a party and host.
I need a break.
Welcome to the BoyFriends podcast, where we help you find your circle
and your man.
I'm Jarrod D. King. I'm here with Noel and Renee, and we have yet another fun and interesting topic for you. We're going to be talking about compromising versus sacrificing, and where's the line? So why don't we start off with like defining compromise,
Okay.
and then defining like sacrifice. Like, what do you guys?
I like how you just point to me. That's fine.
You go first.
Honestly, I think that there will be both compromising and sacrificing in a relationship. We hope that there's less sacrificing happening, obviously, because the difference between the two is when you're compromising, both of you are kind of making a tiny little sacrifice, like baby sacrifices, so the other person can be happy.
Sacrifices.
Baby sacrifices. Oh my God, no!
I'm kidding.
Tiny No, okay. Good Lord.
I'm sorry, my mind is very whacked.
No, that is funny. And I'm really happy that you said that. Usually I have the dark mind. So basically with a compromise, both of you are, in a way, losing. You know, you like you're both not doing the thing that you actually really want to do or really want to get, but you're finding that happy medium where you're like, okay, how about we just do this? Can we just settle? It's like more like a little like a settle just
Settling,
to ensure
yeah.
both parties are happy. When you're sacrificing, one person is not going to be happy. They're going to be happy. You're happy. Like, great. Good for you.
Maybe.
Maybe. I'm not happy. I'm not that ecstatic about what I'm doing right now. And
I don't think anything's wrong with that, though.
No,
not all the time.
Obviously, no. That's what I said before. Like, that's always going to happen. It happens with like almost every relationship, every friendship. Like, you're going to have to make a sacrifice for the people that you love. That's that's something that's just going to happen. That's a fact of life. Yeah. It gets to the point, though, when you're starting to realize that you're the person in the relationship that's making all of the sacrifices. I feel like it definitely starts off slow, and it starts with compromising. Especially early in a relationship, they'll put their feelers out for like how much you're willing to compromise. Yeah. And I feel like the scales start to tip, you know? Like slowly the compromises are like making them more happy than you. And it's no longer meet in the middle. And then they start disguising compromises as they start disguising sacrifices as compromises. Have you guys ever? Because like that's happened to me.
Disguising sacrifice as
like they're just like, oh no, this is us being in the middle. Because like this is good. This is good.
Yeah.
But really, you're making all of the sacrifices.
And it becomes like a thing where like your partner is getting a little bit too far on the selfish side, and then they're trying to convince you that you're getting something out of this too, like.
Yeah.
What are you complaining about?
And I know the term gaslighting
Isn't this what you wanted?
Exactly. Okay, so like I don't.
Is that the shoulder? Is that the shoulder?
It was the shoulder. It was the shoulder.
Your shoulder action.
And I don't think. See, now I lost my thought because I'm just like picturing Jarrod's shoulder and how cold it can be. What were we saying before?
Just when you're trying to convince the other person that they're getting what they want out of this too.
I don't like to use. I've been trying to stop using the term gaslighting because it's actually super unfair to people who have actually been gaslit. I think that term can get a little bit overused, especially in today's day and age. I don't want to call it gaslighting, but it kind of is. I need a therapist to tell me.
So you're saying it's not a prolonged thing, as opposed to just like a moment of like.
Yes and no.
Flipping the script.
Yeah, yes and no. I think I need to know the term for like gaslighting's cousin or something.
Starting.
Yeah, I guess. No.
I mean, I think you can call a
It's
thing a
like
thing. I mean, me personally.
Manipulating.
Okay.
That's manipulating.
All right.
I think it's very manipulative. I think people can get very manipulative when they realize that someone is willing to compromise. They're like, how far are you willing to take this to make me happy, kind of thing. So
There are very kind-hearted people who are very easily taken advantage of. I really don't like that stuff. When I see it, I really don't like that. It's like, because now you with a good person, and I'm gonna come after you if I have to. I'm coming after you if you have a moment.
You looked at me a lot when you said
No,
that.
I'm not. No, but I'm just saying, like, don't mess with good people. Don't mess with. There are some people who will bend over backwards for somebody that does not necessarily deserve all of that.
You don't deserve my gymnastics skills.
You know, like if I had just met you, and for me to just like go above and beyond to meet your needs, you don't deserve that, because there's no real relationship there. But that's just who, in that scenario, that's who I am. So for a person like that, for somebody, it's very easy for them to get taken advantage of, and I don't like seeing that.
I definitely have been treated like that before, because like I do like being a nice person. I like making people happy. And in the past, I've definitely been taken advantage of, but thank God for therapy. Okay? Because when you realize that you're easily taken advantage of, you become the best type of brat. like a revenge brat. And I love this era for me.
Okay, wait, can you explain that, please? I feel like that resonates. But I just want to get a clear definition.
Like a revenge brat?
Yes.
It's more of like, okay, so I think I've been taken advantage of a lot in friendships, especially with a friend that I made in college. And it kind of started off with like how I said before. It started off with like compromising, like, girl, I don't really want to do this. Like, come on, like let's just do this. And then I started making more sacrifices of like, you know what? Sorry, she's been through a lot. Whoops. I would kind of be like, you know what? She's been through a lot. She's really like not feeling it. She's not been happy. Like, I'll make the sacrifice to make her happy.
Yeah.
And she picked up on that. So she would complain more about her life. And then like right before making me do something that she knows I don't like doing.
Yeah.
You know? And so my mom taught me when I was little, treat others the way that you want to be treated. And it's really stuck with me. That has always stuck with me. And it's one of my biggest faults, because I will always treat someone the way that I want to be treated.
Absolutely.
No matter what. And people see that. And my therapist saw that. And he's just like, why are you doing that when they're not? They're not treating you the way that they want to be treated.
Because you always have to be the bigger person, better
and
person.
I was just like, you're right.
No matter what.
And so
That's a sacrifice.
And ever since then, when someone is like try to get me to like do things that I don't want to do, I've been like, no.
Yeah.
I'm awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. I know how I want to have fun.
Yeah.
Or like I know what I want to do. Like no, I don't want to do that. I want to be a brat and I want to do this.
Yeah, I mean, and I think it's really just like standing up for yourself a little bit more. And
maybe that's a better way of saying it.
And I feel like sometimes, I do that, and I come off as like a bitch, because I'm not.
It's like
putting.
But like, why? See that, and that's because. It's like, I feel like you're in your, again, this is like revenge brat, because you've realized about yourself that, hey, I let myself get pushed over to do things. I've made more sacrifices than compromises, and it just doesn't feel right to like stand your ground and be like, no.
Right.
I want to go here. I want to do this. I don't want to do that.
Yeah. I mean, and it's like the delivery would be different, would be a little different, of course.
Obviously. But I feel like that's why you think that you're being a bitch, but really, you're doing what everyone else does, or what everyone else has done to you.
Yeah.
And like I'll still compromise.
But when I see
nowadays.
people who don't have the ability to do that, and then I see somebody taking advantage, that's where I have a big problem.
That makes me upset.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah.
And I've seen that a lot happen with even my partner
and
his family. Like they rely on him for a lot of things. In the beginning, before he moved with me.
Okay.
I really like that you and your partner have that relationship. Like he's like a little soft little marshmallow, and you're like the graham cracker that's keeping him in place.
Because I see it. Because I see, I'm like looking into both our lives, his life. I'm like, that's not right. And I would tell him like, I know family is everything, especially in Latino families are everything.
Yeah.
Like thick and thin, like no one else matters.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like sometimes like family has to be put in check sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, definitely.
And they will never correct their ways if you don't tell them.
Mm-hmm.
And there's been times when I'm like, you need to start speaking for yourself because the way they're treating you or acting is not right because label of son and brother are in place first. You're also still a person.
Yeah.
And that's also the same with my mother. I'm like, you're my mom, always will be. Aside from that, you're a person, I'm a person. I need to start talking to you as a person, as a friend, than a son because sometimes even parents they don't see us being adults. They see children still. I was like, I
think that's very true.
I've definitely had to repeat to my mom, I'm 30.
I'm almost 40. I'm almost 40 years old. I'm not little Chinito anymore. You know what I mean?
Can I start calling you that?
My mom does. Yeah.
I do have a question. So, do you think that because you kind of recognize that your partner has been like taken advantage of in the past, do you find yourself willing to make more sacrifices?
I do more for his comfort. Yeah. Especially when before he moved in, I always wanted to make sure like my home was like a safe haven for him. That no matter what, every time he came over, it was just like very chill, quiet, calm. He felt safe and protected, and I didn't ask for him to do much at all. Everything was always done. Until now that he moved in, the most we ever bicker about is the stupidest ever, but it's basically just chores. Who's doing what? Like, who's cleaning the bathroom?
That's literally like that is like the cardinal rule of relationships. Chores are always going to be a compromise. One person can't do the whole thing.
Yeah.
And I've seen that, and it's I'm actually very interested to like
I'm hiring cleaners.
Oh.
That is beautiful.
I'm kidding.
So, for us plebeians, we have to delegate chores. But so I definitely see this more in people in my life who are in heterosexual relationships where the woman is more or less doing like 70, maybe 80% of the chores, and the guy's doing 20, and they think that they're doing half. How is it in gay relationships? I feel like women are kind of like assigned those roles and just by like society. So do you think that, being in a homosexual relationship, maybe without those roles already being like kind of divvied out?
It's
Do you
hard.
know what I mean?
It's no, because
like, is it easier to make that compromise or is it harder?
For me, I've always been the domestic person.
Yeah.
And that's because I learned how to do my own laundry when I was like 6 years old from my dad. He was a single parent. So when I would go on weekends to spend time with him, he taught me how to pretty much take care of myself and how to clean and do my chores.
Yeah.
And then on the weekdays, my mom did all that stuff. But I was also a mommy's boy, so I was always like by her skirt, watching her cook, whatever. I'd rather spend time with my mom than actually go outside and play with the kids.
That's so cute.
So like I learned from the jump how to just like maintain a household. And my father was Latino and Chinese. Very strict, very clean. Every Saturday.
He must have been so handsome.
Every Saturday.
That was a beautiful mix.
Every Saturday. Every Saturday morning was like wake up, chores, and then Sunday church, and then like get ready for the rest of the week on Sundays for the week, whatever.
Yeah.
Very structured. And that's what I am too. But as far as two guys, I mean, men are disgusting. Like we're gross.
Okay, girls are gross too.
Okay, right.
Girls are gross. I'm gross.
So
I'm gross.
guys are gross. Difference between me being a gross gay man or a man is that I work from home. My kitchen is my office. It's my workspace. The rest of my home, I would like to have tidy. So I'm constantly making sure the rest of the house is tidy because there's chaos in the kitchen.
But then I also feel like with that, like if you know that, your partner really likes a clean house, I hate it when people then go and say like, well, if they're the ones who want to clean, then they need to clean it. No. If you know that this is something that your partner likes, why not help them out? Like, oh, you know what? This makes them happy.
And that's
I'm gonna do this.
And that's something where like we're getting to a point where like he's trying to see. I'm trying to make him realize that like, how I like things done. You know how I feel about the rest of the house. I would like that to like take you by the hand, like, hey, I don't have to ask, can you just put this load in the laundry and then flip it, and can you just like pick up that piece of paper from the floor?
You would much rather he just take the
like
initiative.
automatic
and
response.
I think that is like a thing about what could also make a difference between a compromise and a sacrifice is the initiative.
Yeah.
So, playing devil's advocate.
Yes.
Do you think on his side it's like you have a very specific way that you like things done, and he does not know how to like if he were to take that initiative, would it be up to standard?
Ooh, that's a good one, because that could be like annoying as hell.
You trying to poke? No.
Let's tear apart your relationship.
No.
Sorry, Carlos.
No. No. Like for example, like he knows how to clean a bathroom very well, and the second time he did it, I'm like, this is not how you do it.
It's not up to code.
Yeah, I was like, it was kind of rushed. I'm like, there's still prints on the shower door and things like that. I was like, just do better.
Wow.
and honestly, I can be. And that's when you need a compromise. And I don't mean to. And I try to just be like, I'm like 1, 2, count to 5, and just be careful what I say without hurting someone's feelings.
Yeah.
Because like we both work a lot, and it's 2 people living in a house, and I try to take the burden of doing the chores during the week, little by little, so he doesn't really have to ask him. It's already done.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But sometimes it's just like I get so tired that you have another set of hands at home. They should be putting in the work too.
No, that makes complete sense.
You know what I mean? In the beginning, like when I would work on a Saturday and Friday, he would be on the couch watching TV, and I'd just be like cringing with envy. Like,
it's like you hate it because you're just like, why is the thought not coming to your mind?
I was like,
why is this thought not
this
entering
must
your
so
mind
nice
right
when
now?
when you're playing video games, and I'm here busting my ass.
Does it cross your mind that when you just like decided to like walk over that dirty sock, did you think about it?
Yeah.
Did you think to yourself, that dirty sock doesn't belong there?
He saw my wrath one day when like we got to a point of getting like HelloFresh to like make meals.
Oh, that's so cute to do
because
together.
he's like, I'm really good at making meals on the whim. He's not. So he follows recipes. I'm like, let's just do that for a few weeks and see how it goes. And then one day, like, I work maybe 12 hours at a time in the kitchen. So he's like, can I cook now? I'm like, cook what? I'm like, one of the meals. I'm like, you want to use the stove as I'm producing to make yourself a meal. And for me, I'm like, I'll eat cereal or a wrap or something. He wants like a whole like 3-course thing. I'm like, this is not the time. And he's not registering it like this is like my workspace. Even though it's at home, I'm still like working. So like, that.
And so I think that is actually like I feel like you gave 2 good examples of making a sacrifice and making a compromise. And so I think that because it's like your work, sir, like you're just gonna have to make this sacrifice this one time. You're not happy about it, I know, but this is my job and I do have to do it.
Yeah.
And I feel like that might not be a space for like a good enough compromise. But I think the cleaning is definitely a compromise zone.
Yeah.
And especially if like, hey, you know what? This section of the house, I need it clean, but I don't need it clean a certain way.
Yeah.
So go ham.
Yeah.
This is yours.
Yeah. No, for real. Like I just like, I appreciate like a good, use the Dyson, go vacuum, and like just fluff the pillows when you get up. Fine. The bed's made all the time when we get up from the bed, whatever. And then laundry is just always a chore because like for me, when I was single, I did laundry once a month. I wore the same every time for work. I didn't go out much.
I know, such a when you realize you're single and lonely as hell when like you have like 3 things to wash at the end of the week.
It's literally gym clothes and whatever uniform I use for cooking.
So like to go back, because you were asking about like roles like in like a gay relationship, and I think a lot of times, and this is very problematic, and I think we had mentioned this on the podcast before, that a lot of people try to say like,
who's the boy, who's the girl?
Yeah, it's like, the bottom's the one who's cooking and cleaning.
See, well, I don't automatically think
one.
that. That's why
I know, yeah. But I mean, I think a lot of
clear.
times there are some guys out there who will try to simplify their life by immediately placing the bottom as the woman. And it just makes it easy.
Well, guess what?
I would say typically like DL guys and like those
both.
like super. You're both.
Go off.
Well, hey, perfect.
Get your shit done.
All in one.
I can host a party and host.
I need a break.
No, I'm saying I'm like I can be domestic and be the dominant person in the relationship. Like
I'm like
I'll you, but I can make a good quiche at the same time.
I'm like, I can actually be very secret. I'm like a secret dominant person. I'm definitely a secretly dominating person. I don't know how to explain it, but like I can be like, I am a Cancer. A little bit manipulative, a little bit, and I don't even mean to sometimes, and I have to recognize myself doing it.
Yeah. I can be dominant in certain areas, but like I don't know. I don't want nobody telling me what to do either.
I told Carlos that like for Valentine's Day, like one of my love languages is I do gifts, buy things, and I'm like, you know what, like I enjoy giving you presents to make you feel happy and be nice, whatever. But sometimes like I like to be the girl who gets things too. I like things.
Does he enjoy you giving him gifts?
I read that I was wrong.
Does he enjoy giving?
Yes, he does.
Does he enjoy you giving him gifts?
Yeah.
Is that his love?
Yeah,
language?
it's like a fucking junk in it. But yeah,
Who doesn't love gifts?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, everybody loves gifts.
And
but I'm saying, does it mean
and
as
I do
much
it,
as
and I do
something
it in a
else?
way that's so like unexpected. Like we'll just be watching TV. I'm like, look what I got. You know, it's like
That's so cute.
or it's always random. It's random.
So I think we have to
Take it back. Sorry.
bring it back
to compromising.
to compromising.
I think that a lot of compromising also does have to do with roles. I think you're right about like assuming the top is going to be the feminine. No, the bottom is going to be the feminine. The top is going to be the dominant. The bottom is going to be domestic. Like when you start assigning those types of roles, you're almost deciding the compromises that you're about to make. Like you're the woman, so you should do more chores. Or you're the one who likes
Well, I mean,
like
it very gets a little misogynistic when you think about it.
Yeah, it does.
I say like you have more time than I do, therefore you should be the one to do a little bit more than me.
Yeah, let's say a guy really likes going to monster truck rallies, but his girl really loves apple picking. You know, a sacrifice just to make him happy. She could do it like every once in a while. Like I just want to make you happy. Let's go to this monster truck rally. Like I might not love it. I might think it's really goddamn stupid, but I'm going to be happy that you're happy.
Yeah.
The other person needs to understand that, like, though that person's making sacrifices for me, I need to start making those. I need to make sacrifices to make them happy too. Let me go apple picking. If you both don't want to make those sacrifices, find the compromise. Like, okay, let's go to a sports bar. Like, that's something that we both love to do. Something like that. Like,
Or do something separate. Don't you know to
oh,
bring.
that too. Like, do it separately.
Find someone else to go with you to a monster truck rally. Go find someone else to go with you.
I see. Yeah. That's how they would that's how I'd get manipulated though. If they were just like, but I don't want to go with them. I want you to be there. Oh, that would get me.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that would get me so hard. I would be like, I'm going to stupid.
Have you like how have you like experienced like sacrificing or like in a relationship or like in like while dating or something?
One time, oh God, the one time that I like made a sacrifice to make the guy I was dating happy, I really wanted to like. I was so excited. We had this planned for like most of the week where we were gonna get drunk and we were gonna go bowling. That's fun. That's awesome. But then he was just like, my friend actually wanted us to come over like the day of. Like, can we, could we hang out with my friend instead? And I'm like, and I know how close him and his friend are. And I like, this was such a major sacrifice for me because like, like I didn't have fun at all.
Yeah.
All we fucking did was watch V for Vendetta.
It's a good movie.
And great movie. A solid movie, but like he didn't talk to me. He was just there, like talking to his friend. I was in a house in Western Massachusetts with a guy who had a ponytail, not the fun kind. And I was miserable. Like I wasn't having fun, but I knew that he loved hanging out with his friend. And
so you were trying to...
and I was just trying to make him happy.
Yeah.
I was so unhappy.
Yeah.
And then when he needed to make the sacrifice for me, because I like going out on like I like to go out to dinner and talk to each other. And when like I finally convinced him, like, can we please just go to a nice place? Like I will pay. Like I just want to go to a nice place with you. And like
compromising.
Like not even a sacrifice. It was a compromise on my part still. And he took it like a sacrifice, where he was just like moping the whole time, not talking to me, and saying like I'm taking the relationship too seriously because I want to go out on more dates. Like, you, man.
Yeah.
That's y'all. I do not take sacrifices very well. Not anymore. Brat era.
No, I mean, I think for me, like my experience has been, I can remember, doing a lot for a friend, and anytime they wanted to do something, I was like, all right, let's do it. I mean, I was cool hanging out with them, and I wouldn't necessarily call it like, I don't know, I guess it was a sacrifice, because sometimes I wasn't like ready. I would be like, in my pajamas after watching TV, and all of a sudden it'd be like, hey, you want to go play tennis? And it'd be like, okay, well, let me go get ready to go play tennis. So yeah, it would be a little bit of a sacrifice.
But why would you do it?
Because I wanted to keep the friendship alive, and I was like, all right, it's a nice day. Let me go exercise. But then, you try to invite somebody out, or you try to like have them join you for things, and I got to do this. I got to do that. I can't do that. And then it's just like, okay, well then what
are we
the
doing?
hell? What are
we doing?
I don't know, when you're in situations like that, you start recalibrating the relationship. You start like, you're like, oh, okay, I need to pull this back a lot.
I feel like as a business owner, I do it a lot with my weekends, because the bulk of my work is, Thursday to like Sunday, which is where everything happens on the like birthdays and baby showers and stuff like that. So like I have to like sacrifice work to cut it in half to do these things. Yeah, I'm going to enjoy myself, and I'm going with my partner. Most of the events we used to go to were just for his friends in New York. So I would leave to New York for the day and come back, and I'll still finish work. It's exhausting, and that's a sacrifice to be a partner, to go with your partner to these things, to show up. Because what's going to happen is eventually if I don't make these events, then I'm afraid like I will never be invited, or maybe it'll be an afterthought that, like, oh, we know that Noel doesn't works on weekends. There's no point in inviting them or me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And some of my friends in the beginning, I was like, I was feeling left out in the beginning because my friends would do things on weekends and never asked me to do anything with them. I said, well, you're always working. I'm like, yeah, but I can compromise my work to see you. Yeah. I'm my own boss. I can stop what I'm doing. I might fuck myself over for a few hours to be working at like 2 a.m, but I can make it with time. If you give me time, I can make the time to come see you and do things with you and go to events.
A lot of our conversation, when we talk about your relationship, it's a lot about his friends. What about your friends? Like, what does that look like? Do you have any friends?
I do.
Okay.
Do you have friends?
I do. I have friends. I see them when I can see them. I saw my best friend for the Super Bowl party.
Okay.
So Sunday we had a 1 p.m. brunch with some friends. My friend David, I've known for like 15 years. Okay. And then we're invited to see the Super Bowl with my friend Ricardo during game time. Okay. So I was like, okay, what can I do to make both? And they'll want to work with me.
Yeah, and then they're compromising like, oh, I really want to go at 11, but yeah, no, that works.
Yeah, if you want me to really be there,
yeah,
then you'll push it to 1 o'clock, and they will do it.
So what advice would you give to somebody who may feel like they're sacrificing a little bit too much in their relationship, or
always conversations, always talk about it.
If all you're sacrificing is not rewarding you at all, then maybe you should bring it like, why am I doing so much, knowing that I have more of the burden to, I mean, my sacrifices are mine because I know I'm going to enjoy what I'm going to do. Mm-hmm. And that's bottom line.
I think that when you feel that you are making all of the sacrifices and they're not really doing anything, I think it's definitely time to have like a conversation. It doesn't have to come off as like accusatory, like I make all the sacrifices, then you're just coming off as like a dick. But I think that just say like, listen, I feel like I've been, kind of doing more of what you want to do and like less of what I want to do, and like kind of making more sacrifices for you than for me, and it doesn't make me feel that appreciated.
I like that you said that you always start with I feel.
Yeah, because they could be feeling something completely different.
That's the sign of somebody who's gone through therapy. I feel statements. I
feel yeah, and I've done
let's
it.
Let's not project. Let's not say you are blah
yeah,
blah blah blah.
Yeah,
feel,
exactly.
Yeah.
So again, I want something in a relationship that like I give, and I give great communication. I'm a great communicator. I will pat myself on the back for that. But it's just if you really are feeling that way, just bring it up to them, and they could like not even fucking realize it. You know, some people get really caught up in their shit.
You know why? 'Cause you're so good at sacrificing, compromising. They're not realizing.
They're not even realizing it. Like, bitch, you're right. Let's go apple picking. And like just talking to them, like, hey, I feel like I keep getting like kind of like on the stick whenever we do things together.
Yeah, I have one more question. I know we're running out of time. Do you feel compromise? I feel like I know that I'm kind of throwing this out rhetorically, but do you feel compromise is necessary in a relationship?
Yes.
Yeah, you guys are not going to be completely alike. If you are, that's weird.
Yeah.
I feel always. Like I remember dating a guy who was just like, there was that Eartha Kitt clip that he kept quoting, compromise. Compromise.
Okay, if that's the cornerstone of your relationship.
But it was very weird. It was just like, how many times are you going to say that? And I'm
you
not
guys should have stuff in common.
It's not always compromise. It's always one hand washing the other. Like, I'm going to do this, well, you can do that.
Yeah.
It's like, if I'm going to cook tomorrow, can you cook today?
Yeah, compromises are gonna happen regardless.
Yeah, I just feel like you're not gonna enter into a relationship and be able to do everything you want at all times.
No,
and I feel like that needs to be like, if anybody out there has that idea, please reconsider.
Reflect within.
Yeah.
Reflect within.
Yes. So anyway, thank you both for joining me on this episode. Thank you all for watching. And please comment, like, subscribe, share, do all the things. Help us reach a bigger audience. And yeah, again, I forgot my line.
If you have no one else,
you got us.
I stole it.
You definitely did.